Yesterday at the San Antonio Book Festival, I was so touched by so many people, and the poet who is Lebanese-American Hayyan Sharara, who lives in Houston, made a comment that he feels that all poets at all readings should simply say something, and it's very appropriate with the beautiful meditations and songs this morning, something just in honor of people who suffer in the world for wars over which they have no control. So I changed the poem that I would open to read this very short one from a poet in Iraq. His name is Nasir Fla'i. He sent me this poem a few years ago, and during the horrible last many years in Iraq, he said one way he has comforted himself is translating American poetry, especially Emily Dickinson, whom he loves, into Arabic. Now think about it. That's what he's done as an act of calming. So this poem he sent me of his own is called Theft. When he woke up from his dream, he stood by the window. The war was gazing at him. When he returned from his sadness, 2 lines of dots. He was 40. The wars that go on and on for whatever reason, accomplishing nothing we can see, and the lives which are traumatized, the people who suffer in the meantime, who would have loved to be in a calm, safe, beautiful, artistic circle such as this one. Thank you, Rudy and Zet, for the spirit you've created in our community for 25 years. That's a lot. Thank you so much. So I'll just read you a few recent poems that aren't in any books first. This is from an email correspondence. To Manage. She writes to me, I can't sleep because I'm 17. Sometimes I lie awake thinking I didn't even clean my room yet, and soon I will be 25 and a failure. And when I am 50, I write her back, slowly, slow, clean one drawer, arrange words on a page, let them find one another, find you. Trust they might know something. You aren't living the whole thing at once. That's what a minute said to an hour. Without me, you are nothing. I appreciate those kind words, Rudy, at the beginning. And over the years, sometimes when I can't sleep, I just lie awake and think of all the different great people whom we owe thank you letters to in our lives. And maybe people we've already thanked for other things, but we could always stand to write more thank you letters. And then if that doesn't work, after making quite a long list of them, I just look at things in the room around me that I think, what sort of attention haven't I paid yet to this thing, or this object, or this poem? And so last year, a friend sent me a strange map of the United States that had on it only state mottos. And I realized how ignorant I am at this late date, that I was not aware of state mottos really as a guiding force in my life. And so I'm reading you not the poem this grew into, because that one seemed a little long, but this is the original sort of skeletal poem that I wrote on the first night. And it's called United. And I'm just curious if there are any here you didn't know. When sleepless, it's helpful to meditate on mottos of the states. South Carolina, while I breathe, I hope. Perhaps this could be the new flag on the empty flagpole. Or I direct from Maine. Why? Because Maine gets the first sunrise? How bossy, Maine. In Arkansas, the people rule. Lucky you. Kansas, to the stars through difficulties. Clackety wagon wheels, long land, and the droning press of heat, cool stars, relief. Idaho, let it be perpetual. Now this is strange. Idaho, what is your it? Who chose these lines? How many contenders? What would my motto be tonight in tangled sheets? Texas, friendship, now boasts the open carry law. Washington, wisest, by and by. New Mexico, it grows as it goes. Now this is scary. Two dangling its. This does not represent that glorious place. West Virginia, mountaineers are always free. Really? Oklahoma must be tired. Labor conquers all things. Oklahoma, get together with Nevada, who chose only industry as motto. I think of Nevada as a playground or mostly empty. How wrong we are about one another. For Alaska to pick north to the future seems odd. Where else are they going? I have added many more states since I travel so much, and Oregon is also weird. She flies on her own wings, and so we're not sure if that means the motto maker thought of Oregon as a girl or woman, but that's good. So just a couple others. Here's a toast to being humble, which I think we don't make enough toast to in our nation, these or any days. The great American writer, Peter Matheson, who is the only American writer ever to win the National Book Award twice for fiction and nonfiction in the two different categories like that. Peter Matheson was an infinitely humble man. He loved San Antonio because of our bird watching possible around here. He always wanted to go to the rim of the city, take a walk down the river. When he went on the mission trail, he insisted on walking from all the missions to and back. But this is to a place between San Antonio and New Braunfels called Warbler Woods that he tried to come to during the warbler migrations every year. Warbler Woods, never too proud to tip his head back, to gaze, to look beyond. Something nestling in leaves, unseen. A presence standing in water, on a single long leg. Fine if it took a long time to walk there. Better if it took a long time. He knew the names of every warbler stitched inside his skin. The 7 eagles, graceful cranes. He followed them to tucked away forests, creeks. He could see amongst leaves a slightest flicker of movement, a nesting memory, how the world was once, would never be again. He could stand under skies for hours, head tipped back, never weary of their habits, never tire. When did humans equal this glory? Glory of feather and snippet, glory of the rangeless distances, abundant glide. When did humans soar so high? Recently, someone I don't know asked me by email if I thought it was a good practice to read a poem every morning. I said, why not? Read 2, read 4. It doesn't take that long. And she said, I just feel that my whole day goes better if I read a poem first thing with my cup of coffee or tea. So I like to write and read first thing in the morning. So this is a poem to that idea called Fresh. To move cleanly, needing to be nowhere else, wanting nothing, from any store, to lift something you already had and set it down in a new place. Awakened eye, seeing freshly. What does that do to the old blood moving through its channels? And I guess I'll dedicate this one to the Express News that today has a special travel section, or maybe it's on the faith section, about touring Israel. And for many of us, we would like to say touring Palestine/Israel. Recently in England, someone I'd never seen before came up to me in a pub and said, "So what do Palestinians want anyway? What do they want?" And I thought, wow, who is this guy? But I felt as if I needed to answer him. So I tried to answer him on the spot and then just wrote this poem later and sent it to him. What do Palestinians want? The pleasure of tending, something that will not be taken away. A family, a tree, growing for so long, finally fruiting olives, the benevolence of branch, not to find a chopped trunk upon return. Confidence in a threshold, a little green, and quite a modest green, untouched by drama, or a mound of carefully stitched calico coverlets stuffed with wool piled in a cupboard. To find them still piled, is that too much? Not to dominate, not to say, we are the only people who count. Never to be the most wounded, the victims, the chosen, the most holy, the most precious. No, just to be ones who matter as much as any other, in a common way, simple lives among sheep and stones and books and knowing. A little neighborly respect. Hello, we moved in too. We like your ancient home.